Have you ever heard the saying that in order to make a lot of money or reach success, you need to work extremely hard? And it's frustrating because we see people who are working hard and they're making pennies on the dollar. We see people who are working extremely hard and they are not accomplishing the results or outcomes that should be their reality. Well, in this short video, I'm going to show you why less is actually more. Why it's easier to make a lot of money in a shorter amount of time than it is over a longer period of time. Now, you may say, JaQuan, well, how does that even work? How does this even correlate? Because it would seem as though you need to work extremely hard to get the results of financial success and all these different things, but that's not always the case. Now, financial success or success in general is not even a number or a specific amount of money. Success in itself is you being able to occupy purpose and maximize all of the gifts, talents within yourself. If you are not someone who is operating in purpose, then you can't actually be fulfilling what is called success. Because the idea of success cannot be measured by how much money you have, because there are a lot of people who have a lot of money and who are not successful in their family life. There are people who have a lot of money who also don't have peace at night. There are people with a lot of money who have had to do compromising things to get the success that they said have, right? Now, today is an interesting day because I want to debunk an idea or ideology to you that it requires hard work to make or to have success and riches. I'm going to take a pause there. How is it that there are people who make a lot of money, but they work 4 hours a week? How is it that there are people who are supremely, massively rich, but they don't have 90-hour a week, 80-hour a week, 160 hours a week of a schedule? How is that? The key word here that I want you to understand today is the word leverage. 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 I want you to write that down if you are taking notes right now. The word leverage means it's your ability to take advantage of the assets or the benefits of something else to get the result that you are looking for. So when a person has good credit, they can use the benefits of good credit to invest somewhere in order to have passive income, in order to buy a property or invest in a business, whatever that looks like for them. So the key word that every person that's rich it has is the keyword of leverage. Now, here's what I discovered though. I've discovered something about the type of businesses that most people get into. If you are someone that's getting into business, you're more than likely going to try to do it by a service-based business. This is learning how to cut grass or learning how to cut hair, learning how to do taxes. All those things are great in what they produce for other people, but it still is a requirement for you to invest time, effort, and energy in order to get the result for other people. Now, you may be saying, JaQuan, well, how can I leverage my skill set or my knowledge or my ability so that I'm able to get the result that I want, which is more time freedom and more money? Well, you have to shift from being only service based and figure out a way how to reduce the gap of time in order for you to get paid. You may be thinking right now, how in the world do I do that? So I'm gonna tell you, there's service-based businesses, and then you have product-based businesses. A service-based business is probably what you're doing right now. You're probably working tirelessly doing hair, doing nails, doing taxes, doing all of the implementation type of work for six figures or uh multiple six figures. But the key problem that you're facing is you're tired. You are overwhelmed. You're overworked. You're probably the only person in your business. So you're probably a solo entrepreneur. It's hard to make a lot of money if you're the only person working in your business. It's harder to make a lot of money if the business that I'm running also is something that anybody can do. So we have two issues here, right? We have the issue where I'm working hard in this industry, but I also have an issue where this industry is what it will be consider as a commodity. I've discovered this in my own journey and in working and doing taxes. One of the things that I realized in the tax industry is doing taxes is easy. Yeah, it's simple. Anyone can do it if they learn it. So, me doing taxes, I oftentimes find myself arguing with and fighting with clients on the price of my service because they deem it as something that anyone can do or someone down the road can do for a cheaper price. So anytime that you have a commoditized business, what you're going to run up against is people wanting to pay less for the same service. Oh, that's probably what you're dealing with right now. So you can't leverage your skill set if you are only a commoditized business. Ah, man, it's probably a challenge to you right now, and you're probably like, what in the world? How can I get this result, make more money, and people don't want to pay me? Here's why. People don't want to pay for something that they think is easy, something that they think is simple to anyone. They'll look for the cheapest route if they can, right? So then you have um also productized businesses. And even in the product business, the product business is depending upon the product that you're selling will determine the outcome, the financial outcomes that you have. Meaning that if I'm selling screws, anybody can sell screws. Screws are a product. If I'm selling gas, gas is a product. If I'm selling alcohol or I'm selling cans of soda, those are all a commoditized type of product because it doesn't take a lot of specialty to sell or to create and to distribute. So we have service-based businesses which are harder to scale than productized businesses. But the issue that we're having right now is specialization. Yeah. And the type of labor you are willing to implement in order to help someone get a result. So I discovered something as I was in the tax business. I could charge three, five, $800 for a tax return and have 100 clients. I'll make what's 100 times 500? $50,000. But what happens when I convert my value to another level? Right? What happens when I convert my value to another level? What do you mean? I'm doing the work. I could build a team of other tax professionals, but the results would be a slow, a slow scaling, a slow leverage. I want leverage of time, energy, and effort on my end and on my prospective clients' end as well. See, when you're in business, leverage is one of the most important and essential assets that you could ever have. Because if you don't have leverage, you will exhaust yourself, you will be tired, and you won't be effective, and then you're going to quit. Most people don't stay in service based businesses long because they tired themselves out and then they end up um, throwing in the towel and doing something else that will even tire them out even the more instead of thinking on another level. So if I'm using my energy for something, my energy is not infinite. The energy that I have for my day is only for the day. But some of you right now are working more than one day in one day. And whenever you find yourself working extremely hard for money, money is going to run from you. I might be talking to myself. I don't know if I'm talking to you. If I'm talking to you, write in the comments that I'm talking to you. Say you're talking to me. If you're only using your energy, then you are going to exhaust yourself over time. Okay? So now we have to consider I could do that, or I can create a team, or I need to figure out how I can convert my expertise into a deeper specialization. So then I had a situation one day where there was a client that came to me, a prospective client that came to me, and he said to me, I owe the IRS $50,000. And it shocked me. I was like, oh my God. He said, I had an accountant, I had all these different things. And I realized something right there. I could just do his taxes, but I realized something different. There's a deeper problem that he's facing. The problem is, or was, that he did not have what we would call tax planning. So now, guess what? The energy that I had to do taxes is converted to another level of value. I hope you are catching what I'm saying to you right now. The other level of value now is I can use my voice to instruct you on how to not pay taxes. And because you want the result more than I need your money, you are willing to pay me a greater amount of money so that you can avoid this same outcome that you've experienced. What am I saying to you? That you can make a lot of money just by talking. You can make a lot of money just by communicating. I was talking to someone, I think some of my mentees, and I was telling them, you're trying to do all the work for people. And if you just tell them what to do and show them what to do at scale through whether it be a course, through consulting or coaching, they can do the work. And then if they want one-on-one, then you take them to another level in pricing because you're the one who's a subject matter expert. Uh-huh. So when I spoke to the client, I said, I can do this. I can fix this tax issue for X amount of $1,000. It was a multi-$1,000 opportunity. You know what they told me? He told me, I'd rather for you to fix it for that price than for me to ever deal with this again. What just happened? I was now just introduced into a client or to a client that was willing to pay me more for less time. Wow. We just went around this entire mountain just to get here. See, your problem now is you don't know how to productize your service. Most business owners get into the business because they want to serve people. And you can serve somebody with the product. You didn't think about that, did you? I had to figure out a way to make more in less time. So if one client can pay me $10,000 and every year I'm in tax season, I have 100 clients paying me $500 each. If one client is paying me 10,000, if I get 5 clients, I've saved more time and made more money. So what did I do? I reduced the level of hard work. I reduced the level of labor. I reduced the amount of energy and effort because all I really have to do is think and speak. So there's 2 levels, or there's really 4 levels of value, according to Dr. Myron Golden. But the levels of value that I want you to understand is 2 basic ones. It's the value that comes from the neck down and the value that comes from the neck up. The value that comes from the neck down is the value that you do with your hands. If you are working with your hands, you are going to exhaust yourself. If you're working with your body, you're going to exhaust yourself. If you're working with any part that's below your neckline, you are going to exhaust yourself. Why? Because you are not an infinite being. You are not an infinite being. But if I work from the neck up, meaning if I use my mind and I use my voice, then I'm able to have more leverage because it takes me less time and less energy to speak than it does for me to actually do. When I figured out this metric and this measure, I realized that from that day forward, I was going to work less, but I was going to make more. From today, you need to make up in your mind that you're going to work less and you're going to make more. Now, you may be asking yourself, or you're asking me, JaQuan, but where is the hard work? I'm going to tell you where the hard work really is. The hard work is, and it shouldn't be you doing. The hard work should really be in you becoming. I'm going to say that one more time because I don't think you understood what I said. The hard work shouldn't be you doing work. The hard work should be in you becoming someone that can produce something on another level. You right now have been trying to figure out, how am I going to make more money in 2025? How am I going to make more money in 2026? I want to change the life of my family. I want to change the trajectory of my family. I want to change our financial situation. It's not going to come in you working harder with your body. It's going to come in you. It's going to come when you work harder with your mind to figure out how you can take what you already do and make more money using that. You don't need any brand new expertise. If you take the expertise that you have right now and you package it properly and you sell it to the right audience, the audience that you sell it to can pay you premium pricing because they know that what you have for them can change their life. It will change their life. So let's think about this. I want to give you a principle. right? Money is spiritual. Money is a spiritual thing. Money is the only thing that can be in more than one place at the same time. How do we know? Money can be on your debit card, in your bank account. It can be in Cash App. It can be in all these, on Zelle. It can be all these different places at the same time. So that means that it's spiritual. Imagine if you are in a situation where you are a skilled laborer. Let's just say you are in the tax industry, like I am or was, and you are really good at doing taxes. And you start to realize that you're tired every tax season, right? How do you begin to make more money? You turn from a tax preparer to a tax strategist or consultant. Who has tax problems? I just asked you a question. In your industry right now, who has big problems? Because the bigger the problem, the greater the specialization, and the greater the specialization, the greater the income. Let me say that one more time. The bigger the problem, the greater the specialization. The greater the specialization, the greater the income. How do we know? You have general practitioners who make some money. They work extremely hard as doctors. But then you have cardiologists or even cosmetic surgeons who make extremely 2, 4, and 5, and 10 times more than a general practitioner because they do what? They specialize in a specific part of the body. If a general practitioner only can do 100K a year, 100, 150, give or take, a cardiologist, because the heart is more special to the body. If you lose your heart, you lose your life. If you lose your heart, you lose your kidneys. If you lose your heart, you lose your lungs. If you lose your heart, your brain won't function properly. If you lose your, so because the heart is so special, if I lose that part of me, it will cost me more. So a cardiologist comes and says, I'm going to be the person that helps you get your heart right so that your body can be right. So it costs more. Even your copays are more for specialists. Why? Because it costs more for specialty. So I want you right now to think, how can I take my current abilities, my current skill sets, my current knowledge, and take that to the next level? How can I go from just being a barber, being a hairstylist, being a carpenter, being a grass cutter, being a photographer, and exerting so much of my physical energy to being someone that uses their voice or their mind to make more money? So when I tell you that it's easier to make a lot of money in a shorter period of time, I just proved it to you. If you're a general practitioner, the copay is more than likely $0 to $10. I can almost guarantee that your cardiologist, your cosmetic surgeon, their copay is going to be 40, 50, 60, $80, whatever it is. Why? Because value increases the greater the specialization. So in closing, less is more. Hard work doesn't always equate to more money. Hard work can sometimes equate to more exhaustion. Just because you work hard doesn't mean that you're working hard on the right things. Imagine you find yourself working hard to get more tax preparation clients or more haircut clients or more hairstylist clients. But the leverage isn't in the hairstylist and in the or this in the not the hairstylist. The leverage isn't in the doing the hair. What if the leverage is owning a system that teaches people how to do hair, or owns a facility where you can charge rent for each chair? What if that was your end goal? So now you can come out of the hustle and bustle of barbering and doing and exerting all this energy, weighing on your physical body, and now you can be introduced into a higher level, a higher leverage system. I want you to be introduced from today to a new way of generating income. I want you to be introduced today to a new way of generating income. Why? If you want more time with your family, if you want more time with your children, if you don't want to miss other moments, if you don't want to keep working and feeling drained and it feeling as if you're not making progress, you have to leverage your skill set against time. Once you collapse the time between uh, uh, generating cash flow, you will end up in or having greater success outcomes than anybody else. The number one reason why people don't succeed in business is because they suffer from the lack of leverage. But the moment that you learn how to leverage your time, energy, effort, and resources, then you will always and you won't ever have to work for money again. And you won't ever have to work hard for money again. So, what should you be working hard on? You should be working hard on mastering your skill set. You should be working hard on mastering your mindset. You should be working hard on mastering your tool set. You should be working hard on mastering creating assets. Because if you are your greatest asset, if you expire, the asset expires with you. I hope that helps you today. My name is JaQuan Gamble. I hope you now realize that less is more. I hope you now realize that hard work doesn't equal more money. Today is your day where you take your life to the next level. And the way you take your life to the next level is thinking from your voice and your mind and no longer from your body. My name is JaQuan Gamble. Follow me, like, share, and subscribe. Peace.